Hi there, Professor Chris here, and we are doing another edition of threat assessment, but this is a special one because we're doing the health and wellness side of things. And this is one that's particularly personal for me because this one is about cancer. That's right, the big C. And you could be asking yourself, really? Does this chick have some kind of MD that we don't know about? Is she like an oncologist or something? No. I'm not an oncologist and I do not have an MD, but I was diagnosed with stage 2B breast cancer on April 14th of 2021. So this is real. And it hit me like a punch to the gut. I found the lump myself and I said, well, that's not right. And I made an appointment to get it checked out because I knew it wasn't the clogged duct that I had experienced in the past. Went through the biopsies, yada yada, and what do you know? I was diagnosed with stage 2B breast cancer, HER2 negative, ERPR positive, T2N1M0. So, I implore you, get your exams, your pelvic exams, your mammograms. Gynecomastia is the word for breast cancer in men. It's possible. It happens. In fact, my radiologist had it, and he went through surgery that left him having to wear a compression sleeve on one side. So yeah, it's real. And I asked him, I said, ballpark it for me. How long could it have been that it took this tumor to grow? Like how long did it take to get that tumor to be that size? It was about an inch. And he said it could have been a couple of years. So while I wasn't getting the mammograms that I was supposed to be getting every year, I had a tumor growing in my breast. So they did a study in Japan with fruit flies where the deprivation of animal proteins caused a closure of cancer cell growth pathways and opening of cancer cell death pathways. Whereas the group with the animal proteins caused an opening of cancer cell growth pathways and closure or restriction of cancer cell death pathways. So basically that study showed that depriving the host with cancer of animal fats and proteins caused the cell to grow more slowly, or the tumor to grow more slowly, and it actually started killing it off. Now, do with that what you will, okay? That's just one study that I read about that they hadn't even done on humans yet. But my oncologist, even though he hadn't heard of that study, he said he would recommend the same diet to me as he would his diabetic in cardiac patients, which was low sugar and animal fats and proteins, because insulin promotes the cancer cell growth. So, and believe it or not, there's actually a lot of sources of plant-based protein out there, whether you believe it or not. And you may be like, yeah, if you are complaining about meat, then you don't have the right to complain about food at all. Well, okay. I mean, whatever. Everybody's got their own preferences, right? I could sit here and wax poetic about the threat assessment I wrote regarding vaccinations. So, everybody's got their own philosophies about everything. But, I mean, when it comes to fixing food and using plant-based proteins instead of animal ones, you'd be surprised. Because for someone who was raised by Sicilians and knows how to make a proper meatball, when I used the Impossible ground, I think it was. I mean, it tasted like pretty damn close to the real thing. So absolutely get your exams, prostate, cervical, skin, you know, get any kind of weird bumps, lumps, or moles checked out, mammograms, get them checked. I'm telling you, because, you know, taking that shit for granted and not taking it seriously, you don't want to be where I am. I mean, my hair just started growing back. So, yeah, this is my, what, 4th video? You didn't know my hair wasn't real, did you? $20, Amazon, thank you. So, yeah. Now I don't have to be consistent with my wigs anymore. The cat's out of the bag. But yeah, you know, biopsies, they are a pain in the ass, but they're less of an inconvenience than the surgeries, the chemo, and the Neulasta. For God's sakes, the Neulasta. Oh, that stuff is the worst. The worst. What it is, for those of you who are lucky enough to not have to go through it, it's this little pod they put on you that zaps the medicine into your body 27 hours after your chemo infusion. And it stimulates the bone marrow to create blood cells, because they're killed off so quickly in during the course of chemo. That's why the immune system is compromised. And what it feels like, the bone pain and the body aches, it feels like the worst flu you've ever had in your entire life. Your body spasms, it hurts like hell. It's the absolute worst. So for those who have gone through it or are going through it, have a support group. You know, feel all the things, because your emotions are going to go insane. You're going to feel like a crazy person, but you have to feel all the things, because pushing that shit down, it's not good for you. I'm telling you. And don't be judgmental. Don't be judgmental about yourself. And if you are supporting someone who's going through it, don't try and police their emotions, whether you've been through it yourself or not. It's different for everybody. Okay. And I've lost 2 people, one of which I was friends with, and I discovered after we became friends that she had been through breast cancer. So I knew that I was going to need her when I went through this. But right off the bat, she started trying to police my emotions, and I was like, no. And so she and I aren't friends anymore. And someone else I lost because he was a judgmental asshole. And he was like, are you seriously crying right now? I'm like, you know what, dude, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, you want to claim to have gone through cancer umpteen times, and you're not going through chemo or whatever because of X, Y, and Z. First of all, I don't believe you. And second of all, don't try and police me. So please be there for each other. Help people that you know are going through it. Reach out for resources. Message me, trmadvising@gmail. Christina McQuinney on LinkedIn and Facebook, and TARMA_CEO on Instagram. So thank you so much, and take care of yourself.